So what I want to do at an early stage of my design is create a mass form of my building, and I can select to create that in the project. I can give it a name. I'll just call it proposal, and I can draft really what is the footprint of my building. So I'm just going in and drafting some line work to indicate where I think my building is going to be. Maybe a form that looks something like this. When I've got the line work in place, what I can do is I can pick the line work and then go and say create me a form from it. Because I just drew a closed shape, what it did for me was to automatically extrude the shape. So I've got the form that you see here. Within the mass, what I can be doing is making changes, like saying adjusting the height of the edge of the roof there. I'm just going to move that down a little bit, and I can look at my mass form. I get a lot of data from the mass form. For example, if I select it, you can see that it knows what the gross surface area is and what the gross volume is. In fact, if I was to pick it and say put a floor running through it, it'll fill in the information to tell me what the floor area is of my building, to show me all of this great data that I want to work with. So with the mass form created, what I want to do is I want to put actual building components into it. I'll keep it simple and just apply this, or apply walls. So I'm going to say I want to create a wall, but I don't know yet what the finished wall style is. So I'm just going to use generic. But what I can do is pick on the surfaces of my mass form that I know are going to have walls, and you can actually see them being placed on the mass form itself. Okay, so I've got all the walls in. Now if I go to the floor plan, say the level 1 floor plan, and I look at this, I'm looking at this in some detail, a level of detail that is medium. You see I've got no materials. But the workflow that I can adopt is that for any family, what I can do is I can right click and say select all instances in the entire project. So whatever I used for my exterior shell, the generic wall, I could say why don't you replace that with a style that actually has more materials in it. So I can swap out from some really like a placeholder I created, and see my model being created really in its finished detail as I work. So I could then go and add real components to it, where I can tell it where I have doors, where I have windows, or maybe do something like place a curtain wall. You know, the point is of more finished styles, where I'm actually starting to create my construction documents. And if I look at this, say from the south as it exists at the moment, I look at it from the south and I'm starting to create the finished construction documents.